are Native Americans.
Bring it out.
What you have not been told is that you are the biblical Israelites.
That's right.
You are those children who came out of Egypt with Moses.
Right.
For your disobedience, you were in Egypt building pyramids. Those pyramids did not build themselves. Aliens did not come down to build them. The Israelites built them.
Bring it out.
That's right. God's chosen people built them. So what are we doing here today? We've come here to wake up our people. Let's start with the book of John. 8 and verse 32. What are we doing here today? We're to bring the truth of the nationality of the Israelites and who they are today. You blacks, you Hispanics, you Nigerians, you Ghanaians, you so-called Mexicans, Latin Americans, Native Americans, you are the biblical Israelites. Read.
The book of John, chapter 8 and verse 32.
Read.
And ye shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free.
You're going to know the truth today, who God's people are. You're looking at them. We are those people who got sent away on slave ships for the disobedience, not keeping God's commandments.
That's right. The book of Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 15. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God,
if you do not listen to the voice of the Lord thy God, read.
To observe, to do all his commandments.
To observe and to do, meaning follow step by step all the instructions that he has given. Read.
And his statutes which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
So all these curses would come upon the Israelites and overtake them. What were some of these curses? Jump right to 68. What was the main curse to establish? We can prove we are the biblical Israelites. We can prove we are the children of Israel. Watch what would happen for the disobedience for these people.
Bring it out. Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 68. Bring it out. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again
now,
with ships.
Hold it right there. Now Egypt in this context, is the land of captivity. In Egypt we were captives, we were slaves. We were forced to build those pyramids, the treasure cities of Pharaoh. We were forced to do it in bondage. Let me get that in Exodus 20.
The book of Exodus, chapter 20 and verse 2.
Read.
I am the Lord thy God, which hath brought thee out of the land of Egypt.
Out of the land of what?
Egypt.
Read.
Out of the house of bondage.
Egypt is the house of bondage, the house of slavery, the house of captivity. Those people were forced to build the pyramids. They weren't paid for their labor. Now, that same captivity occurred again. These people would be forced to build up other nations for the disobedience of God. Build up the United States. Build up England. Build up France. Build up parts of Russia, Germany, Poland. Back into captivity for the disobedience to God's laws. Now, let's carry that on back to 68. Why did we go into slavery? For disobedience to God. Read.
The book of Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships.
Hold it right there. With what?
With ships.
So how? Well, these people are going to go back into slavery. This time they're going to go back into slavery with ships. Remember, the Israelites walked out of Egypt. They didn't need to take ships. But this time when they go back into slavery, they're going to go on ships. What kind of ships? Cargo slave ships. That's right. Slavery is biblical prophecy for the Israelites.
Right.
For their disobedience, for our disobedience.
Yes, now, I have loved Jacob.
Now Jacob, his name was changed to Israel. He loved Jacob. Read.
Can I ask you why you're so loud?
Because we speak like men.
Yeah, but there's nobody in town, is there?
So people can hear us down there. Give me that. I'll cry aloud.
No, not everyone wants to listen to what you
Then if you would like to listen, please stay. If you're not listening, you're free to go.
No,
Do you have any questions to ask?
You're not giving anybody a choice, are you?
Sure we are. You can stay or you can go. Read, cry aloud. Now, in captivity, manhood was taken from the black man. Any little woman could come up to a black man and tell him anything.
Bring it out.
Bow down and just listen. Humble himself. Remember, chains and whips, degradation, taking away of dignity. That time is come and gone.
That's right.
We know we're the Israelites.
Right.
We know that we're God's chosen people.
Right.
We know for God's disobedience, we went into slavery. Each nation on earth beat us. Each nation on earth enslaved us. We have learned our lesson, trust me. Now, why do we speak loud? Why do we cry aloud? Read.
Isaiah chapter 58 and verse 1.
Read.
Cry aloud.
Do what?
Cry
Bring
aloud.
it out.
No, talk soft and humble and
Cry aloud.
speak loud. Stand up like a man.
That's right.
No more of this humbling down. Now, of course, we got to humble down at work, otherwise you're going to lose your job. When we bring out the word of God, we're going to bring it out with strength, like men are supposed to do. Now, go to the book of Deuteronomy 7. Go on.
The book of Deuteronomy chapter 7 and verse 6.
Read.
For thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy God.
Now, this nation is a holy people unto the Lord thy God. Holy means special, set apart, separate. Read.
The Lord thy God hath chosen thee to be a special people unto himself.
To be a what?
A special people unto himself.
God has chosen these people, the Israelites, to be a special people unto himself. That's why when we messed up, he chastised us into slavery. That's why we went into slavery. Not because of the will of men, not because they sat down in the secret council and thought, how can we economically take advantage of weaker nations? No. The Spirit of God was put on them to do such to his people, to teach us a lesson, which we have learned our lesson. Now, God's told you he's got a special people. Above what?
Above all people.
Above all people. But are we living above all people? No, we're the poorest people on earth.
Bring it out.
All of our riches, go to Deuteronomy 28, we'll start at 32. All of our riches have been taken by other nations. Our diamond, our coal, our copper, our uranium, our plutonium.
Bring it out.
The people, our organs, our eyes, our bodies, our names, our history. Why? Because of disobedience to God. Now, what about the land? What about the people? What about the resources left behind? Carry on to 33.
Verse 33. The fruit of thy land and all thy labor shall a nation which thou knowest not eat of. And thou shalt be only oppressed and crushed always.
Only what?
Oppressed and crushed always.
This is why Africa was divided up. This is why multiple nations came to the continent of Africa to take away the children of Israel into slavery, to oppress the people, to divide up the land, and to take the coal, to take the diamonds, to take the gold, and take the people,
Bring it
and
out.
children, and sell them on auction slave blocks. This is why we out here, we cry aloud.
Right.
That's right.
We are pissed off.
That's right.
Right.
We still don't even have our own names. We're still just trying to get back a little bit of gold that was stolen. That's why they got the Olympics. You're going to get a little piece back every time you win a race. But that's not enough. That's not enough.
We used to scream black power while heroin was pushed. But at the end of the day, nothing's in vain. IUIC has been given a vision. The tents of Judah has risen. Many has attempted the mission, minor murmuring, omitting, and missing the mark. Just reading that he had the flame of fire in his eyes gave us the spark. We on Paul's mission. We out on the road, purple and gold, from Mexico, Cuba, Haiti, Ghana, Sierra Leone. 144,000 boots banging, concrete crackling. These are our men repented at heart. The scriptures is proof. IUIC, we deliver the truth.